Hey, I'm Rick, and this is the Blue Ridge Overland Gear Bonfire podcast. And today, like every other episode, we have
Matt again. Yeah. I'm here again.
And I'm still Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a false start, so if we look browbeaten, dystopian, downturned, and overall disappointed, it's because we've been through a good chunk of this already.
And it was my fault.
Logan's
so
fault.
I feel
But
the
hey,
weight of
listen,
responsibility.
practice makes
and
perfect.
we are putting the weight of responsibility on you.
Stick around to the end. We're going to have another giveaway. Today we're going to talk about our Truck EDC, and we've covered tools, we've covered emergency gear, first aid, etc. But like, what about all the other things, all the small things that you keep in your truck? We did have a really good idea for a joke about Truck EDC, but Logan does not have a Matchbox truck in his pocket, so he doesn't have an everyday carry truck.
Nor does he have an EDC belt for his Matchbox car that we're really disappointed about.
Yeah. So the tangent's not nearly as natural, but
Yeah.
let's just kill this tangent early. You want to tell him what you found out about?
Yeah, we had a tangent on our first take of this about not being able to carry a truck, and I said I had a truck, or I wish I had a Matchbox truck. And then it reminded me, I saw a belt online that is from the 90s. It was like a kid's belt that you could like take off and it became a Matchbox track. And so, yeah,
So
apparently
now
you
we're
could, like,
wondering
hook them
why
up,
we all
loop
don't
them.
have Matchbox
Yeah.
belts that we could be playing with our Matchbox trucks right now.
So yeah, we're going to talk about those things. We got some cool content that came out recently about how one's how I organized kind of my front seat area, console and visor, and then we did a really fun video where took Matt's truck, pulled everything out of the back seat, and then kind of added some additional Blue Ridge Overland Gear things he didn't have, and reorganized it. And no, I mean, I will say you had a lot of stuff, and it all went away like really well. Like it just kind of all
I keep a
consolidated.
lot of stuff in my truck.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in my truck. And I was amazed that it actually, none of it really ended up on the floorboard, which is where
Yeah.
a lot of it ends up at very quickly.
Also, for the amount of stuff
on
you
the
had in
seat.
there, when we did the first take of this, you were like, I'm having a hard time thinking of what my EDC truck stuff is. And Rick pointed out, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty aware.
But I mean, that's all. That's not.
Well, I
That's
mean,
like
like Matt carries, I don't know, 7 or 8 left-hand gloves in, in his truck.
That's true. 7.
I don't know why, but
One
apparently
right.
it's
I have
important.
one right-hand glove in my truck.
I mean, 2 cans of wasp spray may be emergency, but also like it's not part of the. We didn't talk about that in the emergency kit. You know what I
That's
mean?
for
Like
sure.
That's true. Okay, so things that I have that are not in my normal emergency stuff. I have at least one set of electronic Ear Pro. Technically, I think there's 2 in there.
I think the amount of times that you said, "Oh, look, more Ear Pro" was
I have foamy Ear Pro. I mean, just in case there's an opportunity and there's something loud happening, and I'm prepared. I don't know. I want to be ready. The electronic Ear Pro lives on my visor though, so I don't have to go hunting for it. There's a timer in there, a little beepy timer.
Yeah, Matt does a lot of precision shooting,
I don't know that Matt does, but
range
people in Matt's
range
life,
stuff.
people in Matt's life do. So I carry a lot of gear for that, I guess. But yeah, so there's a timer. I found my machete. I don't know that comes to light in the video, but I lost a bright orange handled machete that has lived in my truck since I've had it, since I got it from like LT. I don't even know how many years ago. Probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, I
Oh,
was going to say multiple trucks ago.
Yeah, for sure, multiple trucks. And
Yeah.
it's always in my truck, and it was not there.
I mean, I enjoyed that you had a pin pouch that had both a pin and a spork in it. That was a fun combo of items.
I mean,
Hey, the truck spork is a thing.
That's
We'll
right.
circle back to that.
truck sport for sure. Everybody should have a truck spork. A light on my visor, same light that Rick has. I think we talked about that a little bit before, but yeah, I've a little emergency light hanging on my visor.
Goes on your clip.
Yeah,
Clips on your
clips
hat bill.
head-
Makes a decent
if you need
headlamp.
to. Yeah, it works. Handy little piece, little glowing thing. I was a little disappointed. I only had one road flare, and I got over that disappointment because I was feeling pretty low road flare poor when we were going through this. And then I realized that in the last 6 months, I have actually lit a couple of really big piles. So
Oh yeah.
I'm down 3 or 4 road flares from that. I do have plenty of pins, not
Toss a
pens.
bulk pack in there. You're back.
So I've got, if you need a pin for your trailer, for your tractor, for your whatever,
Yes.
I have.
anything you could need a pin for, I think there's an option.
Yeah, no, for sure.
'Cause
Electrical
Matt's like-
quarter pins.
The size, the style, like pick your poison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there's probably about 30 in there, depending on what you need.
Yeah.
Those never leave. Matter of fact, those get added to pretty regularly because I lose linchpins all the time. The everyday carry, I have silky saw. My silky saw kind of lives in there, or silky saw like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else was like.
Emergency Pepsi. There's some emergency.
Well, there's always an emergency Pepsi. There's some emergency booze in there. That was in the fridge because you never know.
Yeah.
Again, being apocalypse ready.
Bartering,
Right?
antiseptic,
Right.
Molotov.
Well, checks all kinds of boxes.
Yeah.
We pair it with a road flare.
Yeah.
You can unblock cars.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else is in there that's
I will say it's kind of
not tools
and not emergency gear.
not tools, not emergency gears, because I sort of think road flares may be emergency gear for a lot of people.
Maybe just for a party.
Maybe it's just for a part. It's true.
Adult,
Fires, no,
adult sparklers.
adult sparkle binos.
Yeah.
I always carry a set of binos in there.
Mhm.
A pair of range finding binos, and then a spotting. It's like a monocular, just in case if you're going on the fly, and I don't want to carry my binos.
Yeah.
Just you never know.
Yeah. Oh, something that I didn't. I used to do a way better job about this, and I don't anymore. Is I didn't see that you had any like extra clothes in there. Are those in the drawers or something? Like a change of clothes?
So there's like a shirt and socks and some of that stuff in the drawer in the back.
Okay, yeah. Because I used to be really good about that with the taco. Like I had like a change of clothes.
Yeah, and some of that I actually just recently pulled some of that out because I was using one of the shirts or something for something. So I had swapped, or I'd used the shirt. My emergency shirt was in there.
Yeah.
But I keep a t-shirt and socks and some shit like that.
Yeah, I needed to get back just like with a 10x10 packing cube and just let it live under
make
the
sure
seat.
it's in there. I have notes on all the things that I was missing. I had a fair list of, I don't have my list with me because I'm on my phone with me, but road flare pour. I remember that. I remember thinking,
if you're in a hard spot, I could.
Yeah, you could help me out.
One or two. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got one. I just
that's a 100% increase in your road flares. Then.
Right.
Yeah. So Logan, like we are out in the boonies a bit more than you. Well, when you are, you're usually at work. We're just. But
I can borrow a road flare when I'm out.
Anytime. Yeah.
But I only have one, so use it sparingly. Just make sure you really need it.
What kind of like what do you pack, day to day that's not in those other categories, just extension of your everyday carry?
Yeah, mine has a lot to do. It's, I don't know, pretty basic, and then a lot to do with what I do. So, extra multi-tool. Again, I have a multi-tool in my bag all the time, but it's good to have one. I've got a headlamp, not a flashlight, but a headlamp. And then hot sauce, always hot sauce packs, because you never know when you need to spice it up.
Zombies love hot sauce.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty decent self-defense mechanism. Like, if you think you're about to get in a scuffle, you just put it on your hands and then just
go for the eyes.
Go for the eyes, yeah.
Wow.
You don't get any like assault with a deadly weapon charges, but it definitely gives you a
little edge.
Is that your legal advice? Is that actual like?
I mean, unless your hands are registered as deadly weapons. Unless you're Steven Seagal.
Mine are not.
Mine are.
And then,
Mark's safe from deadly.
When the cops show up, they just think the other guy is just really emotional. Like, why is he crying so much? Ugly crying. Just there's snot, and that's how bad I whipped his ass.
He's embarrassed.
Yeah.
He's embarrassed.
I've got some specific stuff for what I do. So some like Zeiss wipes, lens wipes that are always in there, and like a converter to be able to plug in a computer, whatever I need to, if I need to charge or like check footage from something.
And you said converter. Does it just like plug straight into your
cigarette lighter
dash power?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And, yeah.
I think I had one of those in my old truck, but it never like it.
They don't pull enough power to do much.
Yeah, it didn't
like
work.
maybe charge a computer, charge a laptop or something, or keep a laptop from dying is kind of there.
Yeah. We use them pretty frequently. Like, I don't know, if we're on a show and we've got an hour or two drive to a next location, you can throw a couple camera batteries on it and get something going.
Like
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of thing. And that's kind of about it as far as besides emergency stuff.
Yeah.
Not a lot of extra. Oh, pins, and I mean pins
Pens
for
the
writing.
writing
I
tools.
don't have a lot of pins, but I have a lot of pens.
Yeah.
I can loan you road flares, and Matt could probably outfit you with every linchpin size available.
Yeah,
Like
no, that's true. I can.
Carter keys. And now, if you ever just find yourself like needing like a handful of 22 long rifle ammunition, Matt's truck is the place to look.
I mean, just anywhere, like reach in
I'm-
a seat, reach in a drawer.
I'm
reach
not
in a
even
bag.
sure where some of them came from. I took his old seat back panel off, and I was removing a pouch, and they didn't come from inside the pouch, but suddenly they were like rolling around. It's like they were behind the pouch somehow.
I don't know. Let me tell you that
I was bamboozled.
that the people at the Italian TSA are not impressed with my care and organization of my 22 long rifle rounds. They were.
Oh, wait, so that
they
whole
were
thing was over a 22 round?
Oh yeah, no, that my.
I feel like that should get a pass. It's like one step above a pellet.
It did not. It did not get a pass. It got lots and lots of crisis. Lots of people running around. Less English for sure. A lot of things I didn't understand. I did clearly understand "get the army." I understood that one. That was some of the words that I was able to pick out of the crowd. I was like, "Oh no, we are getting the army."
The whole army's coming.
Right, yeah.
All of them.
That was that wasn't my high point as
Yeah.
as my whole family has gotten through TSA.
I will say
And
that-
there I am sitting there going, you guys might as well just go ahead and get on this plane because I'm pretty sure
See you in Virginia in a couple days.
I'm gonna spend some time in Italy and not in a place I want to be.
There is a little bit of stress and excitement when traveling with Matt internationally. I voice of experience. I think for me, a lot of my stuff that's not tools or emergency gear, first aid, road flares, stuff like that, like a tarp, a poncho, that's not things not in that category for me is more maybe about like redundancy, or if it's something I've got in my work bag, like, because I mean, let's be honest, if I'm in my truck, unless it's on a trip, in which case I probably have other gear. My work bag, which has pretty much everything I need, is either in the house or in the office here at the shop. But multi-tool in case I just don't want to dig out the one in the work bag. Like we talked about, flashlight. I usually keep a battery for my EDC flashlight there because it's a rechargeable. But if I don't have time to recharge it, just pop one in. A spork. Back to Matt's emergency spork. There might be snacks.
Could be snacks.
You never know. And
That's
I
right.
don't want to be rude. I don't want to have to ask for a utensil
'Cause
after they gave me food.
Right. And the problem with that is that if you refuse them, they may not come back with more food.
Right, yeah.
So you just normally want to say yes.
So when Jimmy Hyman's like, you want a grilled ravioli?
Absolutely.
You don't have to eat the scalding hot ravioli with your hands. You don't have to ask Jimmy for a spork.
Right.
You just get out of your console.
And
then-
bam, you're there.
Yeah. And then
Do you carry bear spray?
no.
No.
I-
That was the other thing I was slightly disappointed I didn't have.
I usually have something. I usually have a road flare and something else that can take the place of bear spray.
I'm short on bear spray and road flares.
Yep.
22 bullets I'm apparently not short on, but
Or
bear
wasp spray.
I have wasp spray. I do have wasp spray, which is actually probably as good as bear spray
Yeah, I mean,
if you really need it.
honestly, like that kind, you can get some pretty good range and pretty accurate with that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine it would do a bear any favors in the face.
Yeah, probably not. It would
Yeah.
probably be a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, and especially we've had 2 bears in the parking lot here recently.
Like, one yesterday. Logan and I were
Yeah.
walking back up and we're like, oh, that bear's running. Oh, at us. Oh, nope. Away from us. Like it was, and it all happened in a short amount of time than that sentence.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the last one, he was kind of moving along, but he was close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're-
close enough that I could take a non zoomed in photo of him with my phone,
Yeah.
and he filled up the screen.
No. And that one was significantly larger than the one we saw yesterday. No, and then visor has pen, notebook, tire gauge, Sharpie marker, little headlamp, like you were talking about, that kind of thing. Something that I thought of that I don't think it's like emergency gear, but one of my pouches on the back of my seat back panel, when we were actually filming the front video, thought about this. Brandy still wears glasses. I used to. So we actually keep like an old pair of glasses for her on the back of the seat panel, just in a small or a medium Velcro pouch. That way, if we're ever out and like hers gets smashed or something, she can at least get by. And then an extra fixed blade knife. And through the summer, there's like right now there's a machete in there too. Used it yesterday to cut some vines off a tree.
That doesn't count as your extra fixed blade knife.
No,
I was
no.
counting that as my extra fixed blade knife.
No, I have an LT Wright down next to the console. And then we talked about this point too. Little tidbit: if you got a knife and you keep it in your truck, especially if you're in the South or anywhere except for the northern border of the U.S., don't use a Kydex sheath. You can actually blow out the memory on the Kydex if it gets hot enough. Ironically, like the cheap plastic sheaths, like molded plastic or injected mold or whatever, aren't susceptible to that. Leather, obviously not a worry. But yeah, you can actually like kill the memory in a Kydex sheath pretty easily, in the South and in the summer.
Yeah, if you left it in the car.
Yeah.
Everything I have is in a leather sheath.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I have an extra one in my truck short of the one I carry and then my...
Yeah, and then I've just got a
my
cheaper
machete.
like 12-inch machete in the back floorboard that, like actually get out and like whack some vines or whatever.
Do you keep a knife sharpener in your truck?
Yeah,
Like just a
actually
stone?
in the console, a little DMT diamond stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a medium or something.
Yeah, that's something that I will say I miss because there's a lot of times I actually picked up a couple the other day just for that to leave around because that's one of those things. It's like if I'm waiting for the kids or I'm doing something,
Yeah.
sitting in the car, it's easy to like, oh, geez, I should take 2 minutes and touch my knife up.
And extra multi-tool, like you said, like I've got one in my bag, but I've got an older one just lives in the console.
I've never carried a multi-tool much.
Yeah.
That's never been my...
I mean, honestly, for me, a lot of times it's like just around the house, tighten up a screw on something, Most of the times I'm just going to get my tool pouch roll.
That's my problem is I'll go get a proper screwdriver or
Yeah.
a proper pair of pliers. And
and then I think, outside of that, probably some random batteries, random screws, hardware, and then the tech pouch. I talked about that first last time. Keep a EDC organizer pouch in the console with an OBD2 reader and every combination you can imagine of micro, USB, USB-C, Lightning, C.
yeah, that lives in my day bag.
Yeah. I've got some duplicates I got the ones I use the most in my day bag, but in the truck I got a little bit of everything. And then you guys are talking about the Xi swipes. I need to add that. I've got one of those like Leo photo pins that's got the brush and then the streak-free chamois thing on the other end. But I could definitely add those in there because it keeps you from, especially out on a trip, like when we go to West Virginia a couple weeks. I'm bad to be like, oh, the Linja smudge. And then, you've been wearing that shirt for 3 days and there's sawdust in it. And
For those of you watching on audio,
yeah.
Rick is pretending to wipe his
Yeah. I
camera
mean, if
off
you
with a
couldn't
shirt.
infer that, work on your context clues. I've got some good 5th grade readers that'll, so,
Yeah, I don't know. Some of that stuff, bug spray is the other one that I carry.
oh yeah.
I
So
carry
Sunscreen.
full size bug spray and sunscreen.
I've actually went to the wipes for the truck ones. Like it's Deep Woods or whatever.
Yeah.
Wipes. I think for me, one,
Do they not dry out on you?
not bad. I don't think they do any worse than if they're in the house,
Okay.
Or like I can't remember the name of it. It's Sawyer makes it, but there's like a lotion and they sell them in little individual packets. That's what we used when we were shooting the fly fishing video. It's a repellent, but instead of being like a spray form, it's little single use packets of like a lotion.
Yeah, no, I use the giant cans,
Yeah.
the industrial size
No.
in Promethean, and then in I want something that kills them,
And
kills the ticks, and then something that keeps the ticks away. And then the
Repels.
ones that aren't bright enough to stay away get to die.
Yeah. Melted. I'm trying to think of anything else like EDC wise. Got maps,
Beef jerky.
which are kind of. So I will say, my truck is definitely lacking in snackage lately. Yeah. Especially through the summer, I keep some drinks in there, but like through the summer, I don't really have anything in the fridge like food wise. Yeah.
Do you keep like carving tools? Because you do some.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's always a bunch of knives in my truck, but like, I think the day that we did that video, I took it out because I'm going to take it on a trip. I've got a carving jack from Flex Cut that's like it's like a pocket knife, but all the blades are meant for wood carving. And kind of like going back to sharpening knives, I'm prone to like, if I'm waiting or something, I've probably got some half-finished carving project in my bag or in the console or the floorboard, or I'll just go find a piece of wood and start carving. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. Like I said,
Another time time killer, but something productive. It's also a great way to make sure you clean out your truck because I look down and you're like, man, when did I mulch in here? Like,
when did I mulch here? I don't carve in my truck, but I do sharpen a knife or two while I'm waiting for something.
yeah. Actually, at one point, this has been years ago, I had to take my mom to a doctor's appointment and was like waiting on her outside and had a flint and steel kit. And like actually was like, how good is this flint? You know, oh crap! I have an ember. Like having a live ember in your truck in a city. It's like, what do I do? It's like, it's just char cloth. You roll down the window and like carefully drop it out. Like then sit there and watch it. Okay, didn't set anything on fire. Like there's nobody drives by with a fuel leak or anything. You know, like yeah.
You're responsible for the Chicago fire. Is that what I just heard?
Yeah. Like how would you explain that? I'm like, I was practicing my flint and steel, officer. What?
Doesn't everybody?
Worst arsonist ever. Or a period correct arsonist. I don't know.
And
that's a good point. It's way harder to burn a building down in the frontier days. I'm
gonna get these SOBs out there napping for all you're worth.
Come on. Starts to sprinkle. I'll get them tomorrow. So.
I also have a Zippo that lives in my car, and the reason I'm including that as an EDC is because my emergency lighter is just a Bic lighter.
Yeah.
The Zippo evaporates way too long.
Yeah. That was going to say.
But it looks cool.
Yeah.
So it's there.
I've got a Zippo that a friend gave me that's kind of a piece of memorabilia or whatever. And again, I don't use it all the time, but it lives on my desk at home. Yeah. And probably the coolest thing I got for it, because same, you know, I felt like I could fill it up and then it didn't matter if it was 5 days or 5 months. I pick it up, it's out. Yeah. I got a Thunderbird insert.
Yeah, I've looked at those.
That's the butane.
Yeah.
They're really slick and they last. I mean, it's essentially a butane lighter guts, so it lasts forever.
I think Zippo actually, maybe after Thunderbird, they started making Zippo branded inserts.
Oh, really?
Too,
that's
so
cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I've thought about getting one of those. But I do think that's funny that it's like, it's EDC because I don't count on it for an emergency, but I like to have it there. You know?
I can only imagine a car is the worst place for a Zippo because you're getting the temperature changes and so pressure differences and it just bleeds that fluid out. Yeah. Like
also the good thing about a Zippo is honestly, if you did want to think of it as an emergency situation, you can burn a lot of liquid fuel in it. Not as well as Zippo fluid, but it's kind of like you can make something work.
That's true.
Yeah, kerosene would work. There's a bunch of things that would work with it. Probably good with kerosene, not gasoline, but you might burn a lot of stuff with your gasoline wick. Right. But kerosene,
really careful
kerosene, diesel fuel, that kind of thing would work. Probably use motor oil. Might even make a run at it.
Yeah. Anything else on Truck EDC stuff? We got some good videos we're going to have linked in the bottom for Matt's before and after backseat organization. It's like a really good, Logan, 7.5 minute magic trick.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. And
it is chaos, that's for sure. It starts as chaos, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Because I did nothing to prepare for this video.
No, and it came together really well. And then my console and visor EDC of kind of how I have those two set up to keep it from becoming just a black hole of a junk drawer of a console. So
yeah, that's pretty slick actually. The way you're using the EDC pouches.
Yeah, actually, Matt. Speaking of folks, if you've stayed around this long, the winner of our giveaway, the first giveaway has already been messaged, and we've got another one that I will probably go ahead and draw since I think it's kind of tapered off from the code word. But the code word for this one is going to be small Velcro pouch because you know what fits perfectly in my console in the like tray underneath the radio? A small Velcro pouch, which Matt has not made for a long time.
Oh, so we're going to make a small Velcro pouch?
Yeah. I didn't say we're going to give one away. That's just the code word. Small Velcro pouch.
So,
yeah.
I'm sure we can make a 6-inch small Velcro pouch for you.
Yeah. It also really works well for the top of the seat back panels because a small and a medium together fit really well right there. And this kind of wraps up our series on like what we carry in our vehicles, from tools to emergency gear to all the small things.
And the actual videos that go along with it. Holy crap, we actually kind of organized these two and everything. That's pretty good. If you stayed this long, we're sorry that you have committed to the violence, clear to the end.
Yeah. Next couple episodes should have some like trip reports. Maybe not the next one. If you are sticking around, we got some events coming up. So we'll be at Adventure X Fest. We've got the rooftop tent rally, 18th of October. I keep like missing the date on this one. Whatever the weekend is around the 18th, that's when it is. And then we're going to actually have our Overlander Flea Market November 16th at Matt's Farm in conjunction with the corn maze that they're doing for the fall. It'll kind of be like the last blast. That will be Friday, you can camp. Saturday, most of the morning into after lunch a little bit, the flea market. And then on Sunday, we'll probably do a trail ride, barring forest fire or something like that that's cut us out of those before.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the corn maze should be its last hoorah. So
yeah, and if by the point this podcast is live, that information will either be on the site or soon to be on the site. So just keep a lookout for the Overland Flea Market for the fall here in beautiful Bedford, Virginia.
what are we calling this? Or?
Yeah, it's going to be the Outdoor Venture Rendezvous. That's because it's going to have a corn maze and a flea market and a trail ride and some other stuff.
And who doesn't love a rendezvous?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
100%.
Very popular with the mountain men. Bring your furs to trade. I mean, honestly, Matt has went to an event and came back with like a nice, well-prepared like beaver skin. So it's out front of the shop right now.
I do have a couple beaver skins.
Yeah. That you came back from an event, so it's technically it was a rendezvous.
Technically, it was a rendezvous.
Yeah. So yeah, be on the lookout or go look right now for some news on the Outdoor Venture Rendezvous, and those dates will be publicized that it's a thing soon. So
That's exciting.
yeah. Sorry, it really fell apart in the 11th hour on this one, guys. Thanks for sticking around.
See you next time.
Bye.